You, how is it going? Sorry, I didn't want the freaking thing to cover me when I did the stupid face. I was sitting here for like 12 minutes, waiting for that cue to pop so I could start, and then I still messed it up anyway. Anyway, so I'm having to make this video because of stupid circumstances. A lot of people will already know what happened because I put out a few channel posts about this, but not everybody always sees those, so... the situation is pretty much taken care of now, from what I can tell. I'm hoping to explain everything here from beginning to end, and just kind of, you know, hope that I have the mental capacity to do that while also running this. If you have not, you know, if you don't care about this game at all and don't know what's going on in it, that's fine, you can just listen. So, anyway, a few days ago, Friday morning, some bullshit happened. I'll make my buffs out. Okay. So, I don't have work that day. I usually do, but I happen to have this one off just because there's been various weird issues with hours at work lately. And so I get up pretty late. I get up around noon. And I happen to see a message on Discord that was sent to me pretty much, like, just a couple minutes before I got up. And said message is the thing I just said a minute ago. The, you, what is going on? Or, you know, how are you doing? Or whatever it was. Just, you know, you, two O's. And the problem is... Oh, fuck, I got hit by that wall. The thing is, like, I didn't find this particularly weird, because the person who sent it to me, is kind of like that sometimes. And as you'll, you know, be finding out from my explanations here, I like how they lost a tank, by the way. There were a lot of things that just happened to align to make this work out. But I'm just like, you know, it was somebody that, you know, I am friends with, and I've tried to hang out with... I didn't fucking run away far enough. I've tried to hang out with a few times to, you know, mixed amounts of success. Their availability is very sporadic. And so, I'm just like... You know, yeah, sure. You know, let me see if she wants to do anything today. So I'm just like, you know, not much going on, I guess. How about you? And the response I get is just like, I'm working on a Minecraft server for a friend of mine, and need people to join it to act as, they said figurines, I think it was. But I basically interpreted this to be like, you know, background elements. Like, I want the place to look populated. And I'm just like, the fuck? This was a weird request, but I'm just like, sure, why not? You know, you've helped me out with a few things before. Like, you've joined my raiding party and stuff when we were down a person. So sure, maybe I'll do this, and then, you know, we can do something else later. We've been trying to do this fucking Hollow Knight multi-world for ages, and have not had much success with that, so... Alright, fine, I'll do this thing. So, what do I need to do? Oh, okay, well just download this mod pack, and, you know, you'll install it through CurseForge. Now, I haven't played Minecraft in a while. The last time I did was for the, you know, failed LP that I was doing with Joel, which was, at this point, like, at least a year ago, I think. And, so, you know, I'm just like, is this gonna be a pain in the ass? But they're just like, no, you know, all you gotta do is download the mod pack, and then, you know, install it through this program. You just, you know, Google it, and you can just do it through that. Like, okay. So I download the thing, and, I'm pretty sure when I downloaded it, Discord did say something along the lines of, Like, you know, make sure this is coming from a person you trust. This is a suspicious file. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I trust this person. Which I absolutely should not have, because, for reasons I'll explain soon enough. But, so I download the thing, I run it through the program, and it asks me to, like, connect it to my Microsoft account, which requires, like, a passkey and all that shit. And so, as I'm doing this, I'm also just like, you know, I have this stupid-ass Sonor card gauge skin in-game. Like, I don't know what this is gonna look like, just hanging out in this, random, alleged Japanese-themed server that I'm joining, but, you know, maybe they'll ask me to, like, change it or something. So, I run the thing, and it, like, you know, there's, like, a bunch of loading or whatever. It gives me some kind of loading screen with a bunch of text. And, like, the game opens in full screen, so I change the settings, I get it back to, like, you know, windowed mode, and I noticed that it had closed Discord and my browser in the process. That's really weird. I want these. So, like, I screen cap my character, and I'm just like, this is what my character looks like, by the way. It's really stupid, but, you know, I'm in-game. And so then I immediately get greeted with a huge list of all of the passwords that I have stored in my Google password thing. Plus a screenshot of my Gmail account and a screenshot of my banking info. And they're just like, I have hacked you. If you want to get this back, you know, you have to meet my demands. So, this is the point where I realize, you know, well, there's many things here. First of all, oh fuck. You know, immediate pit in my stomach, what the fuck do I do? Oh god. But also, I'm like, motherfucker, this person I'm talking to got hit with a scam a month ago and has switched accounts. And I'm just now realizing I'm talking to the old account. I didn't realize that. It didn't even fucking occur to me. So, you know, I was a dumbass on many levels here. There were so many different ways I could have noticed that something was wrong, but I missed all of the signs. So, alright, I'm fucked. What's going on? Pizza's here. I might die. BRB. Good. God. So I'm just trying to really quickly think, like, what the fuck do I do here? So I'm like, what do you want? And they say, you know, I have access to all your shit. You know, I will... I don't remember exactly what was said. I could check. But, you know, it's like, you know, I have access to all your stuff. I can either, like, delete it or leak it if I want. You know, all I want is your money. Send me... It was like $300, or I think it was like $350 to do this thing, $350 to do this thing, $550 to do both of them. I don't remember what the two things were. And, you know, immediately I'm just like, there's no way they're gonna fucking just leave me alone after this, but, you know, what choice do I have here? So, they're like, you have a minute to respond. And I'm like, give me a second here. I'm thinking. They're like, you know, don't think too hard. I'm gonna... Basically, they're just putting all this pressure on me. So I call Joel, because, as far as I'm aware, Joel is at work. And he doesn't pick up, and I'm like, fuck, okay. So I immediately am like, what do I do? And I try to Google, like, Minecraft CurseForge scam. But I don't really have, you know, time to read through all this. They're pressuring me. And they're also sending me messages, like, through my own account and stuff. Like, you know, trying to be intimidating and shit. And so, like, I'm trying to check on this stuff, and then I'm like, you know, let me see if I can, like, change my Gmail, at least. because that's what fucking everything is tied to. Like, let me try to change the password on it. So I do that. And then right afterward, they're like, they send another picture showing that I have like a, you know, another picture of my email showing like that I did that. And they're just like, this isn't going to help you. I can see you're fucking around, so obviously no deal. And as this happens, Joel calls me back, and I am like, you know, trembling at this point. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm getting scammed. I'm getting fucked over here. And that is when I find out that he actually was at home. He woke up, you know, he slept in and hadn't gone into work. So he comes in and just kind of like, you know, jumps on the computer, tries to understand what's going on. And the thing is, as far as I can tell at this point, the scammer is not really doing much yet. But, you know, they're in my account. They definitely have the capability of doing some shit. And so, I'm like, this is the point where I'm a little unclear on the order of events. Joel tells me to call my bank and immediately try to put a lock on the account. So we do that. Yeah, I'm talking to them while he's talking on Discord to the person. Or he's not even, I don't even think he really does that. He's just trying to, like, you know, see how bad it is. And so the thing is, he then tries to message everybody on my patron server. He does like a, you know, at everyone, like, hey, this account is compromised. Don't do any, like, you know, don't follow any suspicious instructions or anything. Which, the problem is, of course, immediately the scammer sees this. And so their reaction is to kick everybody from the server, I think. Or possibly delete the server. It's unclear at this point which. And at this point, he's just like, you know, I don't know what they're doing. So I'm just, you know, this is going to get worse before it gets better. So let's just unplug the Ethernet cable from the computer entirely. So they at least can't, like, access anything else. So he does that. And, yeah, the rest of the day, or at least, like, in the next few hours, are basically me in scrambling mode. What the fuck do I do? Because I had already changed the Gmail account, which was a good idea. It was probably a good thing to get that one done first. Because, like, everything's fucking tied to that. And, the bank is taken care of. Those are kind of like the two biggest ones, but I have, like, a shit ton of other passwords that I need to deal with. And, you know, ideally, I would like to get this fucker out of my Discord account. So, while I'm changing passwords on other things, he tries to contact, like, Discord support and figure out what to do. And so, the problem that I realize now is that my Discord account is tied to an old AOL account of mine that I don't use. I have not used in many years.
Still standing in the face of his judgment.
Yeah, I'll think I'll do this. I think there's a delay coming out. So that's gonna pose a little bit of a problem here. But thankfully I'm able to sign into it because I have, like, my password for that stored. I didn't fucking remember what it was otherwise, so, you know, thank God. So I have to... I'm basically just juggling accounts at this point where it's like... I have to sign into this thing to try to do this thing, to change the password for this, so that I can do this, and it's just a bunch of layered bullshit, and the problem is, like, you know, I'm having to change this all to passwords that I'm making up on the spot, and so I'm having to, like, write them down, but I don't want to write them on, like, I'm not going to put them on a computer because I don't know if the computer is fucking safe. So the healer keeps dying. It's a whole lot of bullshit. You don't need to know every last step of it. But point is, for several hours, this shit is going on. And it's incredibly stressful. After, like, a little bit, I kind of determined, like, I think the worst of this is over. They seem to be out of most of my stuff. But, the conversation with the Discord support isn't going as well. You know, we message them just like, you know, hey, this account has been compromised. I try to give as many details as I can. And they're just like, the messages that I'm getting back seem like they're coming from bots. It's not like an actual person looking at it yet. And so, you know, I'm waiting for an actual response, and I just kind of don't get one. So, as the day progresses, this is a Friday night. We normally do streams with Joseph. We go out to get dinner and everything. So we still end up doing that. Here is where I discover that the hacker had tried to buy something with one of my credit cards. Probably a gift card. It was like $60. I'm surprised it was only that much. But thankfully, my bank was just like, this is suspicious activity because this was like purchased in a, you know, location that is not where you live. Was this, you know, did you mean to do this? And I'm just like, no, cancel this shit. And it was on, sorry. Anyway, yeah. So that I tell them to cancel that shit, and then I, you know, for good measure, also just disable that card. And it's like, yeah, this one's probably not safe. But I have another card. I'm thinking about the story out loud now. I'm trying to wonder why I only disabled that one instead of all of them. But it's the one that I mainly use. I have a second card. As we go out to dinner, I then realize that this card sucks ass and doesn't, like, the chip doesn't work. And so I basically now have one that's disabled and one that doesn't work. And so that has successfully inconvenienced me. The rest of the night kind of goes without incident. We do the stream and everything. If you watched it, you've now heard this story twice. Sorry, I'm finding as I go that I'm incapable of telling this properly while also trying to play the game. It was a bad idea to do this, but whatever, too late now. And the fun part is, the next day, I have a fucking work meeting scheduled at 8 a.m. And this is a pain in the ass, obviously, but also it's like the second meeting in a month. They had just recently started making some, like, annoying changes at my job because of corporate's constant need to change shit that doesn't need changing. And so, you know, partially because of that stuff and partially just because of people not really doing their job properly, there's been, like, a lot of things going on that management is upset about, and they're like, we need to do this meeting, everybody has to come in. I'm like, great, this is gonna be fun. So I have to, you know, try to force myself to get some sleep. I'm still stressing the fuck out, but it's not like there's a whole lot I can really do anymore. And, at least up to that point, like, things had kind of been keeping my mind off of it. Like, we were doing the stream and everything, so that was something. As soon as I try to sleep, it's just, I have become a horrible ball of anxiety. Like, it's really hard for me to try to fall asleep. And basically from this point up until this morning, my life was just a constant source of diarrhea. Like, oh, I'm sure you definitely needed to know that, but, come on. You know, that's what stress does to you. And so, dude, get out of me. What's going on? I go to the meeting. this is obviously irrelevant to the rest of the story, but I want to tell it anyway because it's a pain in the ass, and it's, you know, it's timely at least. This work meeting sucked. Did that person just fucking jump? What happened? What is going on in this game? I cannot focus at all. I need to try to keep it a little louder. Revived into the instinct of the app. So, the thing is, you know, we have a few different managers. Some of them I like more than others. And one of them is a lot more of a hard ass than the others. And so, she is basically just kind of tearing into the collective. Nobody is being singled out. But, like, it was very angry. Like, it would be one thing if it was just like, you know, here's some things that we think need improving. But it's the type of shit where it's just like, you know, this store is performing way worse than all of the other stores in the area, and I keep hearing stuff from customers that are unacceptable, and all of this needs to stop now, or you don't need to work here anymore. And just dealing with this for basically 2 hours, it fucking sucked. I hated every second of it. But, you know, that's done. Joel picks me up. We go and get some food. And again, here's more distraction. You know, while all this is happening, I of course am trying to see if there's if like anything else has changed yet. So I'm constantly looking at my Gmail account and making sure nothing else weird is happening with it, and it hasn't. It seems fine. And I'm checking my AOL email because that's the one that the Discord support is contacting, or like, you know, that's where I'm getting updates from, and there's fucking nothing from them. And Joel's just like, you know, it's the weekend, they probably just don't work weekends. It's like, great. I'm glad that this, you know, one of the biggest social media companies in the world decided that, you know, nobody needs their help on the weekend.
Comrade is in trouble. Someone heal them.
Well, sure, I'll just shut the fuck up. But there's nothing I can do about that. So, all I can do is just, you know, keep changing passwords on stuff that I haven't changed yet. And so, after we finish eating... Can I get out? Yeah. Joel's like... How do I explain this one? You know, if you watched the video about making the metal jiggy, you'll know that, you know, we're trying to still progress with that. We need to find a way to make them gold, and also remove, like, the tool markings and stuff on it. There's still, like, some things to iron out there. And he's like, I found a place where we can make use of some tools. It's called, what the fuck is it? Dallas Makerspace. He's been looking at it for a while. You have to pay a membership to use it. And he's like, but they have a thing that I might be interested in here called a vapor blasting cabinet, I believe is what it's called. I should probably go over here. The idea of this is it's like a box with gloves that lead into the box, where you just kind of spray shit with like a compound where it's like water with crap in it. In this case, it's like aluminum oxide. And so you just kind of like blast the thing with this, and it's supposed to kind of like clean it up a bit, I guess. Like basically get scratches and like tool marks and dings and crap out of it. And it's like, you know, if I go home, I'm still not ready to set up my computer on the internet yet. Like, I don't want to do that until I'm sure that everything is secured. Because at this point, we still have no idea if the hacker has done anything else with the computer. Because on the surface, it seems like all they did was send me this mod file, and then I installed it, and then it, like, you know, sent me their shit. But for all we know, it could have run a script that, like, you know, put other malware on the computer. They might be able to access files on the computer. They might be able to, you know, see things I'm typing. We don't know. So, thing is disconnected, and as soon as I reconnect it, the first thing I need to do is get a, like, malware detector or virus scanner on it, and then try to address all that. And I don't want to do that until I've secured everything else I can, so it's a bit of a process here. It's like, I don't fucking want to deal with this right now anyway, so you know what, sure, I'll go with you to the place, it might be interesting. So, we drive to the place, it's about 40 minutes away. And we get inside, and there's just a person who's just like, you'll need to sign a waiver. Just, you know, over on this computer here. Are you here for the orientation? And it's like, no. We're just here to see if we can use this one thing. And they're like, oh, well, there's an orientation that started at 1 o'clock. I checked the time, it's like 1:05, and it's like, oh. Do we need to go to the orientation? She's like, it would be a good idea if you did. I mean, I guess we're here, we just happen to show up at the right time for it anyway, so we might as well. So we sit through this thing for a while. It is not particularly interesting. This place is kind of neat, though. It's like, it's just this big shared space with, like, it's run by volunteers that all... It's basically just a place where you can just do shit. Like, that's a really stupid way to word it, but, like, they have, like, just various different craft areas, and there's a wood shop, there's a metal shop, there's... Oh, I wasn't supposed to go down here yet. I'm stupid. But yeah, we get a tour of the place. The place is pretty neat. And it's like, are we able to use this thing? Or, you know, do we need, like, permission from somebody? Because after we did the orientation, it kind of seemed like it was gonna be likely that we would have to, like, take a class or something, which is stupid. This thing doesn't really warrant a class. But, like, we might not even really be allowed to use equipment until that. And the lady giving us the tour wasn't sure. And so, it's like, okay, I guess we'll just go home. So we do. And after getting home, there's like a forum that they provided us. We go on the forum, Joel asks if we can use the thing, and they're just like, oh yeah, you know, you can just use it whenever. It's like, god damn it. Okay. So, I basically then, you know, spend the rest of the day still not wanting to address the issue. We just kind of hang out, because it's a rare time that Joel actually has the day off. So we just hang out. I get tired early, I'm still stressed the fuck out over all this, so I go to bed. Next day, I am like, okay, maybe I should probably, I should probably start actually fucking working on this. And then that gets delayed because we end up going back to the place again. I'll get back to that in a minute, it's not important. Sorry, this story is a fucking shit show. I am so bad at multitasking. But, basically, partway through the day, I'm like, what is everything I need to do before I reconnect to the internet? Like, just to be completely safe. And I decide that I would be most comfortable with not having any of my passwords stored on the computer at all anymore. I can't kill these people, I forgot. The previous day, I had already started kind of going through that and deleting ones that are not important. I should also mention that because I've had this computer for years, a bunch of Martin's stuff was saved on it also, so I had to message him and be like, hey, you know, you might have shit that's compromised. Because it was, we determined pretty quickly that the hacker only wanted my money. They don't give a shit about my accounts. They had the ability to be petty and delete a bunch of stuff, which was the thing I was most afraid of. But they never actually did that while they had access to it. And there's a lot of minor, like, here's the reason why this would work type of stuff I could get into. But, long story short, it basically seemed like me changing the passwords and, you know, setting up two-factor and all that shit was basically good enough for everything except for Discord. The only reason Discord doesn't work is because while they had access to it, they set up two-factor, you know, with their own device, which meant that I couldn't change the password, because if I tried to change it, it would contact them, and then, you know, they would just say, like, no, I'm not changing it. So I couldn't do shit about that. That's why I needed the actual Discord people to help me with that. Look over here. Yeah, I got hit. It's fine. So, again, I had started deleting some of that stuff, but the problem is, like, I'm not going to change literally every password, because there's some stuff that just kind of doesn't matter. Now that they've had access to that, my crap has most likely been leaked. Like, they probably just are able to sell off all my account info, and, you know, potentially, like, bad things could happen with that, but, like, it kind of depends what sort of accounts we're talking about here. Like, nobody's gonna be doing anything worth a shit with my GameFAQs account, for instance. Like, you know, I would like to keep it, but they can't do anything damaging with that. And for a bit there, I was also like, if they have access to something like DoorDash, where my credit card info is stored, could they do something bad with that? But, again, it seemed like the answer was no, because of just the way that information is stored with those kind of sites. So, it was just kind of a matter of waiting on the Discord people. But what happened then was I spent 3 goddamn hours manually writing down all of my stuff, because I didn't, for one thing, I didn't know that there was an option to just export it. If I had known that, that probably would have been nice. But I also just wanted to have it, I wanted to do it physically. I didn't want to have it stored on the computer, just in case. So I have that backed up. That's just, you know, in a notebook, and I'll just be able to hold on to that if I ever need to refer to it. But I purged all of the passwords that were on there over all the years that I've had this computer. It took fucking forever. And then I finally connected the thing, ran, you know, downloaded Malwarebytes, ran that. It found like 30-something suspicious files. I don't know how many of those were related to the thing, but just run some other shit here while I'm finishing up. So I clear all, you know, I delete all that shit. I find the folders that the CurseForge stuff, like, you know, the folders for that program, I delete all those just to be extra safe. If this thing has saved anything else on the computer, I'm not going to know about it until it's too late, but, you know, that's what the Malwarebytes is supposed to detect, so hopefully that's all fine. And so, you know, I connect everything, and it seems like I'm good, except for Discord, and of course they have still not gotten back to me. So, that was my weekend. Today, I have to get up for work, and before I start work, I usually go to the Dunkin' Donuts that's right next to it, and I get like a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel. You know, I have like 10-20 minutes there, and then I start my shift. So I get my food. And as I'm eating it, I am checking my phone. I look at AOL, and lo and behold, they have responded to me. They responded at like 1 a.m. And they're just... The thing is, like, the message was very unclear. Oh, this is an appropriate fight for my fucking outfit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this fight while explaining shit. But yeah, it says something along the lines of just like, you know, oh, your account has been detected to be, you know, there's suspicious activity been coming from it. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, that's why I reported it. And so I'm like, did they do anything? And so I'm looking into this more closely, and it's just like, you know, there's a link that says, like, you can reset your password, and I'm like, I tried this before and it didn't do anything, but I'll try it again. So I have to come up with a new password on the spot. Here's the part of the story that's especially important, and definitely not TMI here, but sorry, hold on. This suddenly gaining all this information at once, like 15 minutes before I was supposed to start my shift, you know, got the anxiety going again, and so suddenly I need to go to the fucking bathroom again. So I have to go at the, you know, public bathroom at the Dunkin' Donuts here. So I'm in there, you know, multitasking, we'll call it, and I, you know, have to come up with a new password on the spot that I can remember, and, you know, I'm able to log into Discord. It fucking works, and it's like, okay, that's good. I am seeing that my server no longer exists. That's a little bit less good. And we'll come back to that in a minute, but the problem is I can't do anything about it because I have to fucking start work in 10 minutes. I try really quick to, like, see if I can at least set up a two-factor, and the answer to that is no. At least not from my phone, or at least not quickly. So, okay, I guess we're dealing with that later. And to really just, you know, make everything as awesome of a situation as it could be, fucking bathroom doesn't have any toilet paper in it. So I have to dig towels out of the goddamn trash while I'm dealing with all of this shit. I'm so mad. But, you know, I do my work shift, and I, you know, finally I get home, I'm, like, able to kind of look at some stuff. I'm looking through my, you know, list of messages, because while the hacker was in my account, they sure did contact, like, 30 or 40 fucking people. And it was a very random list of people. It wasn't just like, you know, here's the people I've talked to most recently. There were people in there I've spoken to once or never. You know, some that I haven't talked to in years. Just a completely random... Like, I have no idea what the reasoning for that was, but obviously the person doing this didn't give a shit. They just kind of picked shit at random. Am I too close to this cactus? I'm playing so suboptimally, but it doesn't fucking matter. But, get away from the bullshit. So I'm going to have to go through and individually let everybody know that didn't see my previous messages that, you know, yeah, that was full of shit. Most people were smart enough to realize that I don't go, yo, what is going on? And, you know, suddenly ask them to join some random Minecraft server. But, unfortunately, I think a couple people did fall for it. And so really the last remaining problem here is the fact that the server's gone. I do not have access to it, and I don't know if it exists. My guess is that it does not. So, before I recorded this, I contacted the Discord support again, and I'm like, you know, thanks for restoring my thing. I was really worried that I was going to have to make a brand new account and lose all of my conversation history from the past however many years I've had it. I was kind of at the point where I'm like, I was starting to come to terms with the fact that I'd probably just be missing it. But, you know, thankfully that didn't happen. I'm happy. But, it would be nice if I could get the server back too, and I don't know if they have the ability to do that, so Can I get hit by something here? What the I don't remember how this attack works. I'm good.
Amazing, they clearly anticipated that attack.
I can't join your thing. Come on. God, that hits too many times. My damage, though, it's important. But yeah, I tell them the name of the server, and I give them, like, an old expired invitation link to it from ages ago. I'm just like, I don't know if this is useful. I googled it, and as far as I could tell, once the server is gone, it's gone. I don't think there's anything they can do. But, you know, I'll find out. Fucking sucks. I need to... Ooh.
Oh no, that was too much for the challenger.
That's basically it. Again, this was an extremely rambly thing. Every time I do one of these, I'm like, I want to, you know, be playing a video game while I tell the story. And I keep picking the fucking worst stuff. I specifically didn't do this during World of Darkness. Anybody who knows the game knows that that can be done while asleep. I should have done it with World of Darkness, but I'm like, no, I want to do something that'll be more interesting. But yeah, so to summarize, things were bad, but now they're good. Except for the fact that my server's still dead, so I'm probably gonna have to make a new one. I'm gonna give it like a day or two, just to kind of find out for sure. But I'm probably gonna have to make a new one, and so whether, you know, however that happens, if the old one comes back, I'm gonna just send out invites on Patreon to anybody in a high enough tier, and, you know, also send them to the people that I know have been there for forever. If I have to make a new one, I'll do basically the same thing. And I might have, like, a new idea for how I want the place to work. Because there isn't a ton of discussion that goes on there anyway. I don't talk on it too much, but, you know, people like having a place to talk, and I'll bring it back, so. That's probably all she wrote. I am trying to really think here if there's anything else worth discussing. You know, the lesson from this is, you know, don't be a dumbass and fall for shit. After reviewing the situation and really thinking about it, there were so many different points where I should have realized that this was complete horseshit, and, like, I had no reason to believe it, but I did anyway because it came from a source that you know, it was a person I was friends with. They weren't really acting that out of character, at least from my perspective. It was somebody you know, I'm like, you've helped me before, I'll help you with this, why not? And from what I've seen with a couple messages I've gotten, other people have felt the same thing, where it's just like, oh hey, look, you know, I haven't talked to Bikdip in fucking 5 years. Sure, I'll do this thing for you. And then it's like, surprise, I don't actually care about you. It's a hack. It's like, that fucking sucks. It must feel horrible. So again, I'm really sorry to everybody that did get hit by that. Just, you know, be careful. Not even just in this situation, obviously. If people are acting weird and are asking you to do things that involves downloading a file, and you're not 100% sure that you're talking to who you think you're talking to, you know, try to get some info out of them. Maybe, like, you know, mention some inside joke or something. Like, find a way to make them prove that they are who they are. It's the least you can do. If you do get hit by a scam, then I don't know what to tell you to do, because, you know, I only managed to get out of this one as easily as I did because of Joel's quick intervention, I think. But yeah, just, you know, try to close down your most important stuff first, I guess. Also be aware that the hacker will attempt to, you know, show that they have more power than they actually do. They're like, I have your bank info, ooh, but they can't take money out of your bank. As far as I'm aware. Like, they can make you think they do, but I don't think they actually can. So, that's basically it. Again, sorry about the rambling nature of this, but, you know, back to normal, I guess. What else do I say? Coming up next is Blue's Clues.